In today's video, I'm just going to show you how to make heat transfer vinyl projects for personalized gifts with a simple iron that you have at home. No special equipment needed, just your Cricut and your heat transfer vinyl. I'm using this iron-on by Paper Studio. This is found at Hobby Lobby. For these 3 sheets of gold, silver, and black, it's $16.99, but I got them 50% off a couple weeks ago. So I don't want to mess this up because, as you can tell, iron-on is not very cheap. So the first thing I do is, after I've put my design out on my canvas, I first cut it out in cardstock and make sure that it's the size I'm looking for, and that I can center it and use it the way I want on my project. So this font, if you're wondering, is one that I downloaded for free off of defont.com, and that one is called Mudhisa Bold or Mudhisa Script. It's one of these, M-U-D-H-I-S-A. It comes in several different formats, and that's the one that I used to make both of these names. So I've measured the bag, and I know this one I want to be about 8 inches wide. So if I click on edit, you'll see right here it gave me the 8 inches, and it's going to be about 3.5 inches tall. This one I wanted to be 6 inches because this is a smaller zipper bag that I'm putting this on. And again, that one will be about 3.5 inches tall as well. So the other thing I want to do is, if I click Make It, you'll notice Cricut decides where it wants to put everything on my mat. And the way it's spaced, I really want to conserve as much of this iron-on as I can. So I'm going to go back to the canvas, and I decided instead I would like these side by side. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. You'll know that you've done 90 degrees because this yellow line will pop up, and you'll kind of feel it or look at it, and it snaps into place. Then I want it to be the same height as the top of this one. And you can see it's smart like that, and it put it right there. It also marks where that first one ends, and I'm able to bump up both of them right next to each other. But we can't stop there because, again, if I click Make It, you'll see it completely moves things around again. So if you want things to stay how you've placed them, highlight those items, go to Actions, and click Attach. Now, when you do that and you click the Make It button, you'll see that it puts everything right where you wanted it to be on your mat. All right, now very important, it tells you right here, Mirror for iron-on. Click that. So you don't have to worry about creating a flipped object within your project. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. You are able to click that option here before you do your cutout. So again, I'm first going to cut this out just on some white, cheap paper cardstock to make sure that these are the sizes that I want. And then I'll go back and cut them out of my gold iron-on material. So you'll see here for iron-on, it says make sure mirror is turned on, which I did right here. And iron-on material is face down on mat, which means the shiny side, there's a dull side and a shiny side. I'll show you on the silver. So on the silver metallic, this is the super shiny side. And then this side is more matte and more dull. So this is the side that is up facing you, and this glossy, glossy, shiny side is facing down on the mat. I find for metallic iron-on, anything in metallic, whether it be regular vinyl or iron-on, I like to do the plus, so I go one more notch up on the dial just to make sure that the blade has gone deep enough. And then once everything's set, I click to make it, and now we're going to go click go on the machine. So you'll see my setting here. The dial is 1 dot past iron on, so that's iron on plus, and I'm going to click go. So this part here is practically goof proof because iron-on is so resilient and sturdy that you don't have to be too careful with this part. You'll see this is the shiny side, so this is the side that's going to be facing up and what I'm using the iron on. It's shiny because there is this clear coating here. So now we are going to separate this clear coating from the vinyl itself. Unlike self-adhesive vinyl that's pretty thin, you can tug and pull at this one, and you don't have to be as gentle with it as you do with the other types of vinyl. Iron-on is a lot easier to get off in one pull than self-adhesive vinyl. Then I'll just go in and weed out my centers. If that corner is too hard for you to start with, or you're too impatient, you can start it with your pick instead of trying to pull it with a fingernail. Especially if you don't have any fingernails. It might be a little tricky. Sometimes using the pick is a lot faster. All right, so now let's go over to the iron and let me show you what I have set up over there. So even though I used the Cricut machine, some of the things that I found at Daiso were really inexpensive for more of the needs of what I needed to apply this iron-on to these size projects. So the first thing I found at Daiso was this, which is called the ironing glove. And the reason why I got this one is it's nice and cushy, and it won't melt, but it'll fit between my project. So what I'm going to use that for is this little pouch right here. I found it at Michael's. I used a 40% off on it, and it was only $4. I'm going to cut this part off right here, but all I do is insert this in the middle. And the reason why I need to do that is because the inside of this is vinyl, and we don't want that to melt and stick on itself when we apply heat. So this little mitt fits inside of these little pouches from Michael's perfectly. You'll see end to end, it's just the right size. So then all I have to do is center her name right here after I cut this off, and I'll put my Teflon sheet over it, which is here, and I'll press down my iron. Now these Teflon sheets, I got 3 of these for $6.99 on Amazon, and they were delivered with Prime the very next day. So that's how I'm using it inside of this one here. Now this one's a little bit bigger. This is a bag, and I decided to do something different with this one. Let me show it to you first. So here is a canvas bag that I found at Target, and this one I think was $3, so really inexpensive gift, but again, nice personalized gift for the bride. So this might be something you want to give her at her personal shower so she can use it for the day of her wedding, maybe to carry her wedding shoes in or her makeup. Just there's all kinds of miscellaneous things a bride needs to carry on the wedding day or when she's shopping. So what I did is I took another one of those Teflon sheets and I folded it and I made it the width of this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this Teflon sheet to match the size of this bag, because I actually bought several bags with different prints from Target that I plan to personalize for friends. So I'm going to be using this particular size of Teflon sheet over and over again. And what this helps is that when I actually do apply this to the back, when you do apply this, there is adhesive on the back of these letters. So they will leach through a little bit to the fabric, and you don't want it gluing your bag completely shut. So that's why it's important to have something in between it. But in this case, since there's no plastic in the middle, I didn't have to worry about cushioning it. So I'm just going to use a Teflon sheet there. I have a Teflon sheet on my ironing board, and then I'll have one other Teflon sheet over the top when I iron. So if you're like me and not super great at putting things on perfectly straight, one thing you can do is just kind of angle it on a project like this. The reason why I chose to angle on this one is also because the back is so big and so blank. I thought it would just look cuter to take up a little more space if I did it a little bit diagonal. So again, I have a Teflon sheet in the middle, I have a Teflon sheet on the bottom, and I'm going to put a Teflon sheet on top. Now my iron setting is on cotton. I have a Rowenta, just regular old hand iron that I use at home, 1600 watts. And I make sure to turn the steam option off. So then I look through. The nice thing with Teflon is you can kind of see through it. I need to make sure nothing slipped. So let me double check. Yeah. So this is where I want it. And so then I can see the name through my Teflon sheet. So I'm going to just press, and you don't want to wiggle. It's more of just press and hold in each spot for about 15 seconds and then move down. You will also want to press down on the iron. Don't just set the iron there. It does need a bit of pressure. When these things are done professionally, they actually put them in a press, and those presses, they push down onto the fabric. Now, after I take the clear backing off, I put the Teflon sheet on one more time and follow up with one more press. And there we have it. You know your iron-on is adhered, for one, when it doesn't come off when you peel it up, but also you'll be able to see the fibers of the fabric slightly through the iron-on, and then you know you've really put it on there for them. Okay, so this one is a little bit more steps to it. So again, Teflon sheet on the bottom to protect my ironing board. This is the side that I'm going to put the name on. And so I take the mitt from Daiso and I put it on the side that I'm going to iron, not the mesh side, but the smooth side. I insert that, and I can feel where it is. Now I know the name is going to go a little bit lower. The name's not going to be way up here. So I'm going to push the mitt down a little bit, and I can feel it in here. Now this one's nice because I actually have a line that I can follow. Now you'll feel lumps and bumps. So this one, I'm going to press this direction so that I can feel this seam, so that I can make sure that these letters are down. So I'm going to put the letters a little bit higher than the line so that I can make sure I can get even pressure with my iron right here against the seam. So below I'm going to post the links for the iron that I recently purchased off of Amazon, as well as those Teflon sheets. I'll also try to find the link for the Daiso items that I got and these bags that I found at Michael's. There are a few left at your local stores. But even more recently, I was introduced to a brand of heat transfer vinyl by this company named Arteza. They sent me some products to try out, and for the value, it's amazing. So they have a variety pack of 14 sheets for $24.99. That comes down to only about $1.78 a sheet. That's about a third of the cost per sheet if you were to buy the same item at your local craft store, even with a coupon. So if you want to be able to try out multiple colors, including the metallic gold, they have that in this package. Check out my affiliate link below. They will pay me a small commission if you choose to purchase using my link. Well, I hope you try out this project. I'd love to see your outcomes, so please post them on social media and tag me, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.